On the outskirts of town, hidden behind a thick curtain of ivy and mist, stood Blackwood Manor, a mansion long abandoned, its grand halls frozen in time. The townspeople spoke of a woman, Eleanor Blackwood, who once lived there, a woman whose portrait never aged. Until one night, she vanished from the painting. Detective Julian Graves and his assistant Clara Hale arrived under the cover of darkness, drawn by whispers of a mystery no one else dared to solve. The front door creaked open as if expecting them. Inside, the scent of aged paper and forgotten memories filled the air. The grand hall stood eerily still, moonlight streaming through the cracked stained glass windows. Above the fireplace, where Eleanor's portrait should have been, there was nothing but an empty golden frame. Detective stepped closer, her fingers brushing the empty canvas. Suddenly, a chilling whisper echoed through the room. "Find me before they do." A sudden gust of wind blew through the hall, flipping open an old leather-bound book lying on the floor. Clara picked it up, reading the name embossed in gold. Eleanor Blackwood's diary. Julian took the book and turned to the last, hastily written entry. "They are watching me. Every night, I hear them whisper my name. I fear I will not last much longer. If you are reading this, I am already gone. But they are still here." Julian slid the key into the hidden lock. Only one way to find out. With a deep click, the bookshelf swung open, revealing a narrow, dust-filled passage. The air inside was colder, as if untouched by time. They stepped through, their lantern casting eerie shadows on the walls. At the end of the passage was a small hidden study. A wooden desk sat in the center, covered in yellowed papers and half-burnt candles. But it was what hung on the far wall that made Clara's breath catch. The portrait! Eleanor was in it, but her eyes had changed. They were filled with silent terror, staring directly at them. And then she blinked. Clara stumbled back, her heart pounding. Did you see that?" Julian nodded, stepping closer. "Eleanor." The whispers returned, swirling around them. The candle flames flickered wildly, stretching unnaturally high. The ink on the old papers began to move, forming new words right before their eyes. "They took me. And they will take you too." The room shook. The shadows in the corners grew darker, deeper, until they began to move. A tall, featureless figure emerged, its form shifting like smoke. On the desk, a silver locket begins to glow faintly. The detective's assistant grabs it just as the shadow lunges forward. The moment her fingers touch the locket, a burst of white light erupts from it, pushing the dark entity back. The mansion walls tremble as unseen forces react to the energy. The portrait of Eleanor Blackwood shifts, her expression softens, and a ghostly whisper of gratitude echoes in the air. The shadowy figure lets out a silent scream as its form begins to dissolve. The dark mist swirls violently before collapsing into itself, vanishing into nothingness. The room returns to its eerie stillness, as if nothing ever happened. The detective and his assistant exchange glances, knowing the mansion has released its hold. For now. A dimly lit detective's office. The detective sits at his cluttered desk, holding the silver locket. Inside, a small folded note rests against the metal. The words, "She was never the only one," are scrawled in faded ink. His expression shifts from relief to unease. A sudden cold breeze flows through the office, disturbing the papers on his desk. The detective looks toward the office window. In the reflection, standing behind him, is a faint silhouette with glowing eyes, watching. Waiting. The screen fades to black as the whispers return, leaving the final mystery unsolved. Follow for the next haunting mystery. Something is missing. Or someone. Watch closely, and don't blink.